The Hygger Plant One LED Aquarium Light has several different sizes and different options that you can choose from, and includes a digital readout for all your different lighting needs. So let's go ahead and unbox this and check this out. This is the Hygger Plant One Aquarium LED HG160. So let's go ahead and take this guy out. You got your brackets here to adjust to your tank size. So like I said, you got your brackets that actually go on differently. I'm used to seeing the brackets go along the rails here, but these actually insert more closer up front. So instead of being like on the rails like they do here, it actually goes on the inside there. So it's going to be a lot more solid whenever you're putting it on your aquarium. So we'll go ahead and slide this side onto. It's pretty solid. It's very, very good material. And what it is different about this one is it has this digital readout here. So that way you can adjust it to basically your color, your 24/7, your DIY settings, and you can also check your intensity with the 10% all the way to 100% in 10% increments. So you can set whatever color and then whatever brightness you want with just this little remote here, which is kind of nice to see. All right, so actually one of the first things I want to look at too is this controller box with the digital readout. So as we plug this guy in, the light will turn on and then we'll have this flash. We want to go ahead and set the timer for this, and this is in military time and we're currently looking at 6:14 p.m. So we're going to go ahead and set this to 1814. 18, and we'll hit the set button again. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hold the set button once we're done. So it's automatically going to go to a 24/7 cycle here. So you're going to see this check mark here in the corner here with the 24/7 mark. And as you can see, the light is already into like a sunset sort of mode here. So this 24/7 cycle is going to start here at 6 in the morning, and then it's going to end at 2300 hours, which would be 11 o'clock p.m. So another feature this light has is it has a daytime manual button and a nighttime manual button. So if you wanted to change these, for example, if you go back to the daytime button, all we're going to do is press and hold this set button, and it'll let us change the brightness over here of the daytime set of the full light spectrum. So as we go through the wheel here, we can go through the different percentages of how bright you want that to be to manually turn this light on. And then after that, we can hold that set button in and it'll lock that in place for you. So then if we want to go to the night mode, we can hold that set button in, and what that'll do is it'll actually give us the option to be able to change the color as well to whatever that manual nighttime button we want it to be. So let's say, for example, we just leave it as blue. We'll hit the set button and then it'll let us manually choose the brightness of what that night mode is. So we can even go from either 10% all the way to 100%. And to lock that in, we'll just hold that set button in as well. So that way everything is locked. If we want to go back to a manual daytime button, we can hit that, and then we can go to this one and it'll go to that setting we just picked. So that's another nice feature that we have here. Alright, so the next feature I want to go over is this bottom right button with your manual day and nighttime schedule. And what this does, as opposed to just your manual day and nighttime button, is this actually lets you pick what time you want this to start and then what time you want it to end and for the light to turn off. So if we want to adjust this, we click and hold the set button. We get to choose what time it wants to turn on. In this case, we can change it like we did before. So in this case, we'll leave it at 10 in the morning. We'll hit the set button, go to the minutes, we'll leave it at that. And then we can choose the brightness of this light of what we want it to turn on for 10% increments like we did before. And then after that, it'll go to what time we want to turn it off. So let's say, for example, since we're at 1931 right now, let's just go ahead and set this to 1932 to give us a little bit of time. Let's do 1933 actually. So that way this light will still be on. So then when we hit the set button, it's now going to let us choose when this nighttime is going to turn on. So if you remember, this is going to turn on at 1933 whenever the daytime light shuts off. And it's also going to let us choose the brightness of when this nighttime cycle is going to turn on. So we're just going to go ahead and choose the 100%, and then we get to choose when it'll turn off. So let's be funny with this. Let's do a off cycle of 1935. So it'll actually, we can actually see this thing shut off. So let's go to 1935. It's going to be a very short night cycle. So we have our on at 10 o'clock in the morning. We have our off at 1933. So this light here is going to switch to the blue light at 1933, and then it'll shut off at 1935. So let's see if this is set in stone. So let's click and hold the set button, and we're going to lock this in place. Alright, so that actually went to 1934 from the 33, because as we look at it, if we go into the settings, it'll off at 1933, but the same setting is for the nighttime settings. So this should turn off at 1935. So we're just going to go ahead and lock this in place. So this actually should turn off at 1935. Alright, so it seems like this went to 1936. So what it seems like this is doing is when it says off 1935, that's the last time that you're going to see before it actually shuts off to the following minute. Same with the daytime routine, as you guys saw. So at least this works according to what it actually needs to do to manually set your day and nighttime settings, which is good. Alright, so this next mode can get a little confusing, so let me explain this DIY mode to you. So what this is if you click and hold this DIY button, it's going to show you the different levels of where this is at. So I already have this set up, but I'm going to explain this to you what this all means. So if we click and hold the set button, what I did is I pre-programmed this to go to 5 different levels of this light right here. It's not 5 separate settings, but just 5 separate levels as you go through the day. So what do I mean by that is I have this set to 7 o'clock in the morning, and this first set is going to go to 8 o'clock in the morning. So as you go through, you can adjust these accordingly. If you want to go to 8 or 7 or whatever, you go to the next one and choose the minutes, and then you can choose whatever color you want. So you can go through the color wheel and choose whatever color you want to come on, at my example, 7 in the morning. And then you can also choose the brightness as well. So let's just say, for example, as a test run, we want to do this similar to a sunrise and sunset or nighttime mode. So what I did was I set this to a 20% level. So what happens is this light's going to come on at 7 in the morning, and it's going to be at this 20% level of this color from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the morning. And that's what I have this set as. So once I lock this into place, I'm going to click and hold the set button. It's going to go to the next part of the day. So it's already resetting my time to 8 o'clock where the last one's going to finish off at. So what I did was I set this from 8 to 9 o'clock, and I have this set for this color of yellow, as you see here as it changed. And it's also setting to a 60% brightness. So the sun's coming up, it's getting lighter as the day goes on from 8 to 9 o'clock in the morning. And I can set what time it ends. So this is set for 9 o'clock in the morning. So once I'm done setting this, I'm going to click and hold this to set again for that third setting. So what I did was I changed this to this full spectrum light, but I toned it down to 60%. So it's now getting brighter as the day goes on. I have it set from 9 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock in the morning. And like I said, you can change this with each one of these dials here according to color and according to the brightness of the color, which I have it set to 60. So then as I go along, this is going to end at 11 o'clock in the morning on this third setting here where you see it blinking. So if I'm okay with all that, then I just click and hold the set button again, and it's going to go to my 4th setting. And what I have this set, it already triggers it to 11 o'clock, but then I have this set all the way to 1900 hours, which is 7 o'clock at night. So this is going to stay on at full spectrum light from 11 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock at night. And I have this color setting, to that full spectrum light. I have it set to these level 4, which is the second to last setting, and I have it ending at 1900 hours at full spectrum light. So if I'm okay with this, I'm going to click and hold the set button again, and I'm just going straight to night shift, and it's going to start right where it picked up off as at 1900 hours, and it's going to, I chose the blue light for like a midnight light. I chose the brightness, which is at 100%, and like I said, you can change the brightness of it accordingly. And then it's going to end at 2300 hours, also known as 11 o'clock p.m. at night. So when I'm done with that, I can click and hold the OK, and we are ready. We are set to start at my 5-cycle brightness from 7 in the morning until 11 o'clock at night, or 2300 hours. And right now it actually shows, and it's blinking, what setting it's currently at now. And this light will actually shut off at 2300 hours. So that's how the DIY system works out. So let's see what this light looks like on the fish tank. And this remote does have a memory function, so that way if you want to turn it off, and it should save all your settings for you. So this is a 75 gallon that I'm going to be putting this Hygger light on with. Currently it does have a light, but let's see how this Hygger light compares to what I already have on here. So that's it. That's the Hygger 160 for you guys. So let me know what you guys think. I think it's a pretty neat light. It's nice to have the digital reading and the DIY functions that you have available, and the different functions for brightness and whatever you want to do for your circumstance, I guess I should say. So thanks for watching, appreciate it. The link for the product will be in the description down below, and then we'll see you guys on the next one. And look forward to my future content, because there's something cool that's coming up in the near future from Hygger that I can't wait to share with you guys. But be on the lookout. We'll see you soon. Later.